Well, we want to welcome you to Digital Cookie Marketing Magic, and we're going to start off with our interim CEO, Randa.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Randa Minkara, as you just heard, and I'm the interim CEO for Girl Scouts of Western Washington. And I want to welcome everyone to Digital Cookie Marketing Magic. This is an exciting day. The workshop will teach Girl Scouts entrepreneurial skills that are critical and essential to leadership, success, and life. Although selling cookies is a lot of fun all by itself, which it is, it helps girls learn 5 essential skills. They are goal setting, decision-making, money management, people skills, and business ethics. Today, we are helping Girl Scouts gain skills that are crucial to running an e-commerce business, including digital marketing and customer acquisition and management, all in a safe, hands-on environment. Coming from media myself, where we made a living telling stories, and in particular for me, I came from broadcast and digital media, both, I can share that having the ability to tell a good story is critical to your success throughout life. The skills gained through the Digital Cookie program will serve our Girl Scouts for years to come. Today is just the beginning of the journey for girls of becoming digital leaders. I'll read the land acknowledgement. So we would like to begin by acknowledging that Girl Scouts of Western Washington's many offices and properties in Western Washington region occupy the ancestral lands of many indigenous communities, the Duwamish, the Puget Sound Salish, Nisqually, Snohomish, Tulalip, Kalalim, Tawana, Snoqualmish, Chinook, Cowlitz, Chehalis, and Nooksack. Though displaced, these people are past, present, and future caretakers of this land. To say this is to acknowledge a debt to those who were here before us and to recognize our role as colonizers and our responsibility to respect and honor the intimate relationship Indigenous peoples have to this land. This acknowledgement is a small step toward reconciliation and improved relations with the tribal communities in our region. It's done to remind us of the history that shaped our present and will continue to shape our future. It also reminds us to be intentional in our relationship with the land and with the people indigenous to this region. Our council's work needs to be informed by that history in order to best serve our communities and realize our commitment to be an anti-racist organization. Now I'll read the Girl Scout Promise and the Girl Scout Law. On my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times, and to live by the Girl Scout law. I will do my best to be honest and fair, friendly and helpful, considerate and caring, courageous and strong, and responsible for what I say and do, and to respect myself and others, respect authority, use resources wisely, make the world a better place, and be a sister to every Girl Scout. I want to thank AT&T for generously funding this event for the 3rd year in a row. Thank you very much. And now I'll pass it on to Ray.
All right, hopefully. There, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Raymond. I am with DigiPen. We're a private college that teaches game development of all things. But we have been working with Girl Scouts for a number of years. Initially, it was because they wanted us to teach some technology programs, and being a big fan of scouting in general, I was a Boy Scout and had an opportunity to begin working with Girl Scouts of Western Washington. It's a real pleasure for us to be able to partner with this organization. And hopefully today, we are going to give you a chance to kind of understand what it takes to make your own commercial. Now, I know some of you guys have probably done this before, and that's great. If you were part of it, you may know, maybe you were with us when we did it live at our campus, and last year we did it entirely remote. And this year is also going to be entirely remote. So today, what I'm going to do is going to try and cover the whole process. If you do have questions, there is a Q&A button that is below. We want to make sure that you guys get the information that you need. Today, I will be going through things fairly quickly, but I don't want you to worry about it. You don't have to take notes or anything. I just want to give you kind of an overview. We do have a resource that's going to be made available to you today that is on our Digital Cookie Marketing Magic website. And so I'll give you a link later on, but basically on this website, all of the information that I'm presenting you today is there. There are actually short videos, there's some tips, things like that that you will be able to access. So you can just sit back and relax. I think the most important thing for you today is just to understand the overall process, right? You want to have kind of a picture of what's going on. And then when you get to the details, you'll be able to go to this website and you can actually watch the videos. And on top of that, if you do have more questions or any challenges with trying to get your commercial done, you will be able to contact us and we'll get back to you and help you through whatever technical issue you may be encountering. It is actually a very straightforward process. What's very cool is that the technology today, I mean, I can make my own commercial just using my cell phone here. So I can take a picture, I can even edit on here, I can post it. It's pretty amazing. So I'm sure most of you have some access or some familiarity, and I don't want you to be too worried about it. The big thing that I find that's important for this entire effort is that you come across as having fun. And you can only really come across having fun if you are having fun. And that's really what I'm going to try and do, is give you the information so that you can focus on that part and selling your message, selling your personality so that you can sell thousands and thousands and thousands of boxes of cookies. Okay, now I just want to make sure everyone can see, Tammy, you can see my screen, everything's good. Okay, so let's dive into it. So what are we doing here? Well, when we make a commercial, most of you, your commercials for your cookies actually will probably be around 30 seconds to a minute. Now, it could be a little bit longer. It's completely up to you, okay? But really what we're trying to do is we're trying to tell a story, right? So what's our story? Well, the first thing we want to know is, who are you? Like, we're going to see your image come up, right? You're going to put it on your storefront, and maybe, a friend or someone is going to come on, they're going to click on the video, and you need to step forward and say, well, this is who I am. I belong to Girl Scouts. I'm in troop whatever number, and I'm here today to tell you about this exciting opportunity to buy lots of delicious Girl Scout cookies. Why am I doing it? And of course, what do you want the viewer to do, right? Which of course is to buy thousands of boxes of cookies. So this is the little story, and like any story, if you think of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, right? There are some elements to that story that the story has to have, right? You need Goldilocks, you need the Three Bears, we need the whole thing with the porridge, right? But if I tell the story, I might tell it a little bit differently. In fact, I probably could tell it a lot differently from you, right? Maybe I'd go into a lot more detail. Maybe they're not bears anymore, maybe they're lizards. But there's always this kind of common structure to the story that we're telling when it comes to selling Girl Scout cookies. So these are the beats. I always call it the story beats. So the story beats are there. Who am I? What am I doing? I'm here to tell you about Girl Scouts. I'm doing it because I want to raise money to go to camp somewhere. And I would love it if you go to this website and order cookies from me, right? How you do it though, the way that you tell it, the story is really, I think, what's going to sell it. Okay, so this is the part you have to be creative. This is the part that you get to have fun. I've seen Girl Scouts get dressed up in costumes. I've seen other, different backgrounds and all kinds of things. So, you need to find a way to think about a way to tell this kind of the same version of the story, because all of us are telling that story, right? But you're going to tell the story in your way. And I think that's kind of the fun part. So there are three basic stages to production. Okay, one is called pre-production. And that for us means that you're going to do some research. You have to think about, well, why am I selling cookies and what am I going to do? And if you're not clear, you can go and you can talk to your troop leader. You might, so there's that phase. You're going to have to write your script because we have to plan it, right? We have to know, all right, I want to say this. You don't want to be on camera and kind of like, what do I need? And worse, you don't want to forget anything, right? So research and writing is the first part that you're going to do. The next part, of course, is actually shooting the video. And this is actually a lot of fun. It can be done, you don't have to have professional equipment or anything. the vast majority of Girl Scouts that do the commercial are using a mobile camera, like a mobile phone camera. But you know, if mom or dad have a fancier camera, maybe they have a digital DSLR or anything like that, that's totally fine. But it doesn't have to be a high-end anything. We're not trying to make it complicated. The biggest thing that's important here is that we're trying to tell our story, right? So we're going to shoot the video. And now that we've got this raw footage, we have to go to the last step, which is what we call post-production. And really what that means is that we are going to we're going to look at all the video that we shot. We're going to pick the best parts of it, and we're going to kind of put it together. Okay, so these are the 3 phases or stages of production. And this is in fact what I'm going to try and cover you in a little bit more detail. All right, so Natalie, are we doing okay? Any questions I need to address before I move on?
I think we are good. There's just a couple of questions about videos again. So just a reminder, this is a webinar, so you're not able to unmute yourself or turn on your video. So we're just watching the presentation. And just a reminder, instead of raising your hand, just submit a question into the chat if you have a question.
In the Q&A.
In Q&A. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's crash on. So the first part, again, is pre-production. This is, and we have to begin with some research, right? So we need to know what we're going to say. And if you've never done this before, that's totally cool. As you saw at the beginning, there's not a lot of stuff that you have to do research on. Just, you know, why am I doing this? Maybe, you know, how many different kinds of cookies are there available this year? Maybe you're gonna have to figure out where your storefront is going to be. That kind of stuff you have to get together. And if you have questions about that, certainly I think you could talk to your troop leader about it. The second point here about getting inspired. Again, what's really cool today is we have this thing called YouTube, and there are digital cookie commercials that have been posted online. And I think if you go online to YouTube and you literally search digital cookie commercial, what's really cool is you can see what other Girl Scouts have done. And that might inspire you. Oh, I really like that idea. And oh, that's really cool. And oh, I forgot this part of the message. So I encourage you just to take a little bit of time to do that. And actually what I did was I grabbed some for you so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So let's go over to this here and hopefully you can hear.
My first time selling Girl Scout cookies, and I can't wait. I'm excited. With the money I earned, I'm gonna go to the zoo with my Girl Scout baby. So go ahead and buy cookies for me.
So let's start with the cookies. Here is trefoils. It's a traditional shortbread cookie and it has the Girl Scout logo on it. Here are Thin Mints. They're vegan. It's a chocolate cookie and it also has mint in it.
Guess what? It's Girl Scout cookies season. Our cookies are yummy. You don't want to miss out. You can't get these kinds of cookies in a store, like my favorites, Lemon Up, S'mores, and Samoas. Thankfully, I have a digital cookie site so you can still buy cookies and they will be delivered to your door quickly and safely.
Hi, I'm Alicia from Troop 3002. And if you have not met my tag-along accountant, this is Stella. According to her, Samoas are the most popular cookies. But Thin Mints are always going to be my favorite cookies.
Okay, so that's just a very small sampling. That's just a very, very small sampling of the kind of videos that have been produced. And it's something as simple as just standing up and letting your personality, as you can tell from these examples, these girls, you can tell their personality, right? They're excited about it, and they're really, I think the energy level is really great. But again, they're telling the story in their own way. Now, when later on, I'm gonna, when we wrap this up, I'm gonna send you a link to the resource website. On the website itself is something for, there's a PDF, a document, excuse me, that you will be able to download. And you don't have to use this, but it's a little handout that we produced to help you write the script for your for your commercial. So it's about 3 or 4 pages long. It has areas, it prompts you like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm selling Girl Scouts, or I'm learning important business skills, or I'm becoming an entrepreneur, or I'm a cookie boss, and whatever you want. Again, all of this is here just to help you understand kind of what is, what you can do. And it sort of takes you step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So it's a great resource. Feel free to use it. And hopefully it'll at least give you a sense of how you're going to structure your presentation together. Okay, so again, later on, I'll give you the link to the website. I'll give you the password for the website. And then you can go there and you'll see the different phases where you can actually download this document. Okay, so let's go on to the next part, which is writing your script. So of course, now that you filled out that form, you have to think about, again, it's going to help you to introduce yourself. It's going to help you think about the goals that you want. You want to make sure that you can maybe talk about your troop a bit, right? Where you guys are, what you guys like to do. And of course, your favorite cookie, you have to mention that. I think that's always good. And why are you selling cookies? Like, what's your goal, right? Like, yeah, I would really, we're really hoping to take the troop horseback riding, or we are going on a special field trip to go see the special place. I do recommend you try and keep it simple, right? So oftentimes I find that the Girl Scouts, some of them, not all of them, some of them are trying to make it like a really formal presentation. So they're trying to use like words they don't even normally use. And it kind of becomes a bit uncomfortable for them when they go to do the presentation. So you want to keep it simple, right? What's going to sell the cookie is the underlying message and just the way that you bring it across. Are you excited? Do you have that energy? Are you having fun? So you want to be comfortable with it. And I always recommend keep it simple. Producing a 10-minute video is probably way too long. So, a 30-second, 1 minute, maybe a minute and a half at the most is more than adequate. And I think you would find that anything longer than that is probably not necessary. Some Girl Scouts, they will write out their script onto cue cards. There's a piece of software that you can load onto a laptop. It's called a cue prompter. So you can enter your script and then you can put it near the computer and it scrolls up. So it's a way for you to read the script while it's sort of looking at the camera. But the best thing is when you know your script. Like if you can just deliver it straight to camera, I think it's the most natural. And that's why you want to kind of keep the message simple for yourself. Okay, so writing the script is obviously very, very important. Once you have the script, then the next thing you need to do is you need to practice, right? So you don't just want to write your script to say and then just record. You want to kind of get a sense of how fast you're going to speak. You got to get used to the idea of talking to camera and elevating that energy. Now, definitely, I have seen people use a mirror. Just like you see in the picture here. It's a great way for you to do it. You can start thinking about like looking directly into your reflection, the eyes of your reflection, because you don't want to be talking like this way, right? Because the cue cards are over here. You want to look like you're talking to the audience. So you have to get used to staring into a camera lens. And, by doing it in front of a mirror, you can kind of, kind of get a sense of how you might want to portray that message, your facial expressions and, your body language, all that kind of stuff you can think about. And, if mom and dad are available or your sister or whatever, you can present to them as well, right? So just practice. You want your delivery to be very comfortable, very natural, as much as possible, okay? Nothing wrong with using cue cards, nothing wrong with using a teleprompter. If you feel you need that to deliver the message, then that's totally fine. But if you can do it without all of that, I just do find that it comes across a little bit more natural for the viewer. Okay, so you can see there's a link there. Cue Prompter. It's a website. You enter your script, and then typically what would happen is a lot of times it's when you have a laptop or a tablet. You would put that tablet or laptop right near the camera, and then you're reading the text as it scrolls up. But because it's right near the camera, it sort of looks like you're looking into the camera. In fact, that's when you watch the news in the evenings, or I don't know if you know to watch the news, but those people the news anchors are sitting there, they don't have everything memorized. They're looking at the camera, but in front of the camera, they're also looking at a teleprompter. So, again, if that will help you to deliver the best message, then absolutely go ahead and do that. So we're writing the script, right? Let's start again. You're doing the research, you're writing the script, you practice it, And of course, the next thing you need to do is you need to shoot your video. So now, the vast majority of Girl Scouts I see, they do wear their uniform. So that being the case, make sure that whoever is shooting the video for you, you want to make sure everything's kind of in place, right? You don't want like maybe it's like your vest is maybe a bit crooked or your sash or whatever you're wearing. You want to make sure that everything looks good. So, definitely wear your uniform. As you can see in this particular photo, this one Girl Scout, she decorated the background. And so you'll want to make sure the background is clean though. I have in fact seen some videos where it was clearly shot in the Girl Scouts bedroom and it wasn't very tidy. There was like a lot of stuff lying around. So you want to make sure the background's clean and clear. And I definitely recommend that if you can do it outside, it's actually really nice. The lighting outside is much more natural. And there are tips to think about lighting. If it happens to be a bright sunny day, you'll want to do things like make sure that the sun is actually from behind you, so that you're not getting washed out. If it's behind you, it's kind of like a backlight, and it's really nice. It looks much nicer. Or even if it's an overcast day, it's also quite good because then the lighting on your face is very, very even. But you do have to have enough light so that we can see what's going on. And if you need to do artificial lighting, again, the good thing is a lot of mobile cameras today have very low light sensitivity, so you don't have to have any special lighting. You can just shoot literally with your mobile camera, but you might want to try experimenting in different places around the house to find the right place. Okay. Now you may have seen from the example, some of the Girl Scouts, they kind of shot their videos, with the camera kind of up. And that's what we call a portrait aspect ratio. What we recommend, and it's okay to do it that way, but what we recommend is to turn it sideways horizontally. A lot of it really just depends on what's in your background. If, like in this particular case, I did crop it to make more a square-like shape, but in fact, it's wider if you look at the original photo because she's got lots of boxes behind her. Okay, so you want to be thinking about, what do I want to show? Some people have, some Girl Scouts have made poster boards, some, like all kinds of things to be creative. So you want to think about that, but remember that the focus is on you. It's not about the background. So we don't want you to be so far away that we can't really, see you. It's more about the background. We want you relatively close, and you can see the composition of the Girl Scout on the screen here. That's good. Like, we want to see your face. And the other thing is that most people at home do not have an actual separate microphone. So when they record their message, the audio is actually being recorded to their device, like whether it's a SLR camera or a video camera or their mobile phone. So because most people don't have that, I mean, if you have that, that's great. Like, if you can put a microphone here, the voice will come across the best way. But if you don't have that, like most people, you want to be relatively close to the camera. Right. So, you can see on the tips there, making sure that you speak clearly, loudly. The other tip that I would say, and I'm probably not doing a good example of this, is you want to slow down. Right. So a lot of times when Girl Scouts, they're so excited that their speech is going really fast, which is okay. Again, it can capture the energy that you have. But if you can slow it down a little bit intentionally, then and speak clearly, enunciate, right? Make sure you pronounce things properly. It'll just make the message clear to understand. Okay. And then the last point is really important. You should try and do it multiple times. Like, don't just read through it and okay, I'm done. It's like, maybe you might do it 3 or 4 times. I mean, if you've done the practice, found a good location, you would do the recording. And then what I would definitely do is do another one, do another way. Sometimes in the industry, we call it a take, right? So you want multiple takes so that later on when we go to edit, we can watch the different takes to see which is the best one possible. I always tell Girl Scouts, like, have you ever seen people take pictures of the family? And then when you go look at the picture, somebody's got their eyes closed. Okay. So usually when I take pictures of my family, I have to take multiple pictures, right? And then I go back and I can see, oh, okay, this one eyes closed, so I delete that one, delete that. Oh, here's one that everyone's eyes are open. It's kind of like the same idea, because sometimes when you're talking to camera, you might stumble over a word, you might like look off, you might be distracted because, I don't know, there's a dragonfly that flew in front of you or something. Whatever it happens to be, it's very, very easy to do multiple takes. And so it's good, you know, if mom and dad are helping you out or whoever, as you know, as you do your speech, you know, they're watching, and ask them like, oh, what do you think? You know, do you think I was clear? Do you think I missed anything? You know, because you're going to go through the trouble of setting up to do the recording. Get it right. You know, just do it all in one time. I mean, you can always re-record it later if you want, but then you're going to have to, oh, okay, where am I going to do it? You're going to have to figure out that again. So while you are set up to do the recording, do 3, 4, 5, 10 takes, right? It doesn't matter. Again, just have fun with it. And then afterwards, when we go into editing, now you can look at it and say, oh, which one was I really, really like shining the most? And which was the clearest delivery? Chances are, even if you think you got it right the first time, if you do it a couple more times, you're going to get a better take. I guarantee it. So definitely do 3, 4 times. If you need to do it more, don't sweat it. Remember, no one's going to see the version of your shot that did, you know, that you stumbled or you forgot something. They'll never see it. So don't worry about it. Just go back and do it again. Okay. So now the editing part. Now this is new. Like if you were with us before, this is where DigiPen, we had staff and we actually did the editing for you. But what we found is that the tools, a lot of Girl Scouts have actually already started to do their own editing. Editing tools are readily accessible. And in fact, you don't even have to buy software to put on your computer. The editing software that we are recommending that you use is on a website. It's called Clipchamp. Now, if you have iMovie, like if your parents are already editing videos with it, you can totally use those tools. It doesn't matter. It's kind of like a word processor, right? It doesn't matter what word processor we use. You know, I'm just using it to write on, but all word processors kind of work the same way, right? We enter text, we can delete text, we can copy paste text, we can insert pictures, we can do that. Well, all editing software is the same. And the nice thing about Clipchamp is that you don't have to install anything onto your computer. You are editing on a website. So this is the software that we've used for the last couple of years for Girl Scouts. You have to create a login, but it's completely free. Okay, so you will create an account, and again, all of this information is on the website, but you can go to Clipchamp and you create an account. Once you have that, you would upload your video to that site, and then you edit that the video just like you would, you know, if there was software installed. It's actually really, really amazing that we can do that. I've been in this industry for a long time. I know Randa, since she came from broadcasting. I mean, imagine the days that all that expensive equipment, right, Randa, we used to have. Now I can go onto my mobile phone, log into Clipchamp, and I can edit my device. I can edit my commercial right on the phone. So pretty phenomenal. And that's why we think, and when we were editing with the Girl Scouts last year, so many of them said, like, I want to do it. I want to do it. So this year we said, yes, I think it would be a good idea for you guys to do the whole process. I mean, you're writing the script, you're shooting the script, you might as well edit the whole thing together. So the basic process, again, is you're going to take the videos that you shot, you're going to take a look at it, and you're going to pick the best one that you think you did. Then you take that and you're going to input it into Clipchamp. You're going to upload it, right? It'll say like upload video. You'll go ahead and do that. And then usually when we shoot the video, we'll start recording, and then maybe we'll say like, okay, 3, 2, 1, go, action, right? But we don't want to hear that in the final video. So we're going to cut off the parts that we don't want, usually at the beginning and at the end, right? So that's where I say import the video clip and determine the start and end point. We're going to want only the part of the video that we want the audience to see, okay? Then once we have that clip, we can fade in, so we can make it come in from black and fade to black. So it looks smoother. You don't have to do that. But most of the time, we do recommend that you do a basic fade in and out. And then we want to add our name and we want to add our troop number. So that's what I mean by a title, right? So usually in the lower part, we sometimes call it the lower third. We will put underneath there, it'd be Raymond Yan, troop number, 6654, right? And you can fade that in and out. There's different ways that things can slide in. Again, instructions on how to do this are on the website. There's a good short tutorial. It takes you through that process. But if you have any questions about this, hopefully it doesn't sound complicated, because it really isn't, right? But if you have any questions, you'll be able to email us, and we will happily, work with you to make sure that you can get this all figured out. Once the video is looking the way that you want, you'll export it. And now you'll end up with a little movie file that you can upload to your digital cookie website. Okay, so, you know, that's it. Like, I mean, pretty basic. For those of you that have done editing before, Clipchamp can actually do more things. So, for example, we have had some Girl Scouts actually do what we call multi-shot productions. So there might be like, think of like a television show. Usually it's not one long camera shot. There might be, let's say it's me and I'm standing at a counter with my cookies and I've got a wide shot so you can see the kitchen and my cookies in front. But then I want a close-up of my trefoil cookie, right? So then you'll take your camera, you'll get a close-up shot of that. And when we go to edit, we can show Ray with the video and talking about it. And then I say, hey, why don't you take a look at my trefoil cookie? And I put my hand out, then I can cut to a second shot. Well, Clipchamp will let you do stuff like that. So maybe you've heard of green screen. Like if I, like right now, my background is, this is not my house. This is not wallpaper in my house. This is just a digital background that I have. And it is, there's a green screen behind me that it replaces all the green with this image. So it's very easy to do. In fact, in the example that I showed earlier, you saw that there was one Girl Scout, she was on a blue screen. That will also work, I believe, as well. But the idea is that you have a constant background so that wherever there's just that blue or the green, you can replace that through the software with a background of a campground or maybe a horse or whatever your favorite image is. You can put that into the background. So Clipchamp will let you do that. You can add graphics on top of the video. So you notice again in the example, there were some, there was the one Girl Scout, she had like little animation graphics and you know, basically the animated GIFs that were, she had positioned onto there. You can do that. You can add background music, right, as well. There's some music tracks that are available in Clipchamp that you can utilize. The only things that if you are going to use music in the background, make sure that you adjust the level to be really low, right? You want your message to be clear. You don't want the music to be louder than you, right? So just some things that if you feel you'd like to spice up your production a little bit more, great. If you've never done that, I would recommend that you stick with a basic one first, like make that commercial so that you have a good one that you can use. And then if you want, go make another commercial. In fact, there's nothing that stops you from making a whole bunch of commercials. So, you know, I think that not only are these skills really great for selling digital cookies. I mean, you could do this to, you know, maybe it's a school project. You could do like being able to tell your story using video is actually a really good skill to have. And I know that all of you guys are very capable of learning how to do this. It's just practice like anything else. And if you start by keeping it simple, focus on the story. Remember, nobody cares about visual effects and all of that if your story is not clear, right? So keep it simple. All right, so let's talk about the website a little bit. Again, the website has all of the information that you should need, including video tutorials and the handout that I spoke about. I'm going to send out another email to your parents that has the website link and the password, okay? But I'm gonna show you right now, hopefully. Tammy, can you see my, well, you probably can't see it. I'm gonna share it again. Can you see my web browser?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab this link and I will to everyone. So in the chat, I am actually going to put the link there. Okay, now if you don't grab it right now, you don't have to worry about it, but this is the link that you will need, academy.digipen.edu, Girl Scout cookie commercial. Okay, so with the hyphen in between. You'll see that there is a password here that you're going to need, and it is GS 2022 CC. Let's see, make sure I got it right here. And the password, I'll put that into GS 2022 CC. All right, so I'm putting that into the chat as well. Okay, so you can cut paste it. Now, when you arrive, this is what you are going to see. Thank you for visiting the 2022 Digital Cookie Marketing Magic Program Resource website. Ooh, big words. So what we want to do is help you make the most amazing commercial. There are short videos here that are going to explain, basically covering everything that I spoke to you about. And you can see here, you can reach out to our team at academy.digipen.edu if you have any questions or need help. All of us, we're really happy to be part of this, of course. And now down below, you'll see the 3 basic steps, right? So first of all, make a script. If I click on this, you can see that it's covering a lot of things I already mentioned. You know, you're going to make sure you introduce yourself, blah, blah, blah. You will see here that there is a link. If I click on that link, here is the digital cookie script writing document. Okay, and I can scroll down. You can see here talking about, you know, what are you doing? You know, why are you selling? What is your goal? And you can make notes as you go, right? And on the last page here, you know, what have you done in Girl Scouts this year? Why should people buy cookies from you? And of course, there's some prompts here to help you, right? So maybe, why should people buy cookies from you? Well, please help my troop reach our goal. Or if you buy cookies from me online, I'll deliver to your door. All proceeds stay local. You're investing in my dreams. These are all ideas. Of course, you need to put what you want to put. And then here, finally, don't forget to say thank you to the audience. Like, thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of my journey with Girl Scouts. And there is some additional information here. If you're on social media and you want to push, there is a hashtag here that, you know, it's kind of being promoted, Girl Scouts WW Western Washington Cookies. And if you go down here, there's also more resources, and hopefully you can see this. This has all kinds of artwork and stuff that you can use for social media as well. You can see color palette. Let's see here. Oh, not that one. I guess there's some here that are locked out, but I'll make sure I get that sorted out. But the point is, you can see there's lots of resources available here for you to utilize just by going to that handout. Okay, and then the most important part is, here's the little video. So for example, let's go here, and I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear and see.
How to write your cookie commercial.
Tammy, can you hear and see that?
Yeah, we can hear it.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Commercial script. By the end of this video, you will know everything needed to write a script for a small commercial. First, some important topics to cover.
Okay,
One,
so, and if I go ahead,
and why should your largest girl-led business,
so you can see in this particular video,
in the world,
we are explaining, you know, how to prepare a script. If I go to shoot your video, you'll see that some of the tips that I mentioned. And again, over here is another video.
How to record your cookie shot just above the subject's knees.
So I'm not going to play the whole video.
Quality audio.
I'm not going to play the whole video, but you get the idea. And finally, edit your video. You can see here's a link to Clipchamp. And of course, here is
kind of fast, but not too fast. You are welcome to extend it. Hi. If you have the extra space, if you happen to record your video and you're right up against the edge.
Okay, so these resources are available on the site. It's, you know, it doesn't take long to go through. I think each video is maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes long. So it's very, very short, but hopefully it will give you enough to work from. And again, I remind you, if you do have any questions, that you are more than welcome to reach out to us on Academy, email academy@digipen.edu. Just put the subject line digital cookie support if you can. It just makes it, we get a lot of emails. So when I want to make sure that we respond to your inquiries really quickly. And absolutely, if it turns out that we really need, you know, you really need a lot of help, we'll get online with you on Zoom and we'll make sure that you are able to work. You know, you shouldn't have any problems working with Clipchamp, but if there's any areas that families might, you know, or Girl Scouts might have a little bit of trouble, might be in Clipchamp. So, you know, if that ends up being the case, then, you know, certainly we'll be happy to set up a time and work with you to explain and show you and even help you edit your video. So that's it from my end. I wanted to maybe open it up to any questions that I can answer before we wrap up for today. If you don't have any questions, you are more than welcome to move on. The presentation that I just that we did this morning, we will be encoding it, and that will be found on the website as well. So you know, you can always go back, listen to me go over everything. You can go to the website. And actually, shortly after we wrap up today, we are sending out another email that has the link and all of that for you. So hopefully you're good to go. If you are leaving us now, thank you so much for being part of this. I think it's a great opportunity. I love being involved with this every single year. I've seen some amazing work, and I think this year, hopefully we'll see even cooler commercials coming out of this batch. So again, thank you very much for your time, and I wish you the very best of luck